Hello everyone, welcome to PRL, Performance Racing League. I am Hoop BK. We've got some midweek Tier 2 action from Brazil, and it's the sky looks a little sketchy right now here in Sao Paulo. We should have a dry qualifying session, but the story will be different for the Grand Prix. Let's see if I can get everything set up. Had to take a second to get the link posted in the Discord so people will actually watch this. A couple different players in the Drivers' Championship. Oh, Rusty may have lagged out there. I think 3 drivers still technically in the hunt for Drivers' Championship, but we are looking at our championship leader, who could clinch tonight. Basically just needs to beat Gold Killer in the Red Bull. We'll go on board with Turner for a lap around Interlagos. Tricky turn 1. A downhill left-hander following through the Senna S. Then the long left-hander turn 3 with the DRS zone. We'll see a lot of overtaking opportunities here into turn 4. Continuing down the hill into the infield section. But then back up the hill towards a right-hander. You can take a lot of curb there before a turn in. We just start to wind back and forth. The undulating Sector 2. Hard to make any overtakes here, but a fun section of track to drive. And it feels like a roller coaster. This downhill, then uphill. Into the last real braking zone of the lap. Oh, man. No traction. And it's not going to be a fantastic lap for a championship leader. But it's back on the throttle all the way back to the line. He's going to choose pretty late to ditch the lap. Like spot up triples. Yep, is also on a hot lap. Well, no, he's invalidated, so. Gonna give it a shot. How about Gold Killer then? He's not the one I wanted to get to. What's the other blue? It's Foresty's back. Frosty pushing, so he'll get the first lap of the day. 6 all the way to the inside. It's a 1:08.9. The very first lap of the session. 14 minutes left. And we go to the Williams of Vinny Sips. As Gold Killer comes across the line. Wow, 0.003 of a second, the difference there. Vinny Sips, Pickle Tickle coming across the line. Dex Fox gets in there as well. Welcome. Actually, we have 2 new drivers tonight. We have Apex Dog here in the Aston Martin. He's going to ditch his lap, head of the pit lane. We also have, I'm going to have fun with this one, Marijuanizer in the Ferrari. So welcome you two to PRL. Very, very happy to have you. And look forward to seeing how your debuts go. Frosty a long way from his PRL debut. Still kicking and on provisional pole. 5 minutes into the session. I'm pretty sure he has a win this season. It's been pretty solid from him here in Midweek Tier 2, Season 16. Gold Killer also typically at the sharp end of the field. I think a penalty may have dropped him down the order a bit last week, and that's put him on the back foot when it comes to our championship battle. Let me pull up the standings real quick. He's trailing by 29 points in the standings. Maximum you can get in a race is 41. So really just can't lose 12 points to Turner. The tiebreaker between the two still up for grabs. Hey, we got Uno Cinco in here as well, so that should push us to 14. Both grids looking a little skint right now. Late this season, I think with the announcement of the DLC for F1 26, some drivers are kind of taking a step back. I think it was like 11 declines for midweek 1. So, the guys just kind of worn out. Ready for a couple weeks off and then hopping into the quote-unquote new game. But still, 14 drivers, not bad at all for a grid. Turner's first lap, 108.8, is going to put him on provisional pole by about a tenth. Heated Swag will get a time on the board as well in the Haas. Let's see. Ghost Viper will have to keep an eye on here in the qualifying session. He's been on a tear since dropping down to midweek 2. What was it, 5 weeks ago? He's done 4 races, 3 victories, plus a P3. He starts his out lap and was that who was that? That was staying out of the way there. It might have been Apex Dog. I think Gold Killer about to push on here. Pickle Tickle has found a bit of time, 2/10 through 2 sectors. Could jump him into the top 4. That's where he's aiming for now. We'll go on board with our favorite tickler of pickles. 109.4 is going to move into the top 5. Lost about a tenth in the final sector, but we'll still find improvement on the board. Heated Swag giving a little bit of a tow to his teammate. The Haas boys working together here. Whew, big slide of the rear as Ghost Viper turns into turn 4. Whew, that car is on a razor's edge as Gold Killer will take provisional pole by over 4/10. A heck of a lap from the Red Bull driver, trying to start this race ahead of his championship rival. Keep himself in the hunt. Sorry I missed that. We've gone back to Ghost Viper. Still half a session to go. And Ghost Viper to the line in the 108s, and he'll take provisional pole. 108, and we'll call that a 108.4. About 300ths faster than Gold Killer. So the usual shootout that we've become accustomed to in qualifying in midweek 2. We're going to see once more. Now, did Spot Up just finish a lap, or did he just start a lap? Just finished a lap, so 109.3. I think it said he was up 5/10 in that one. Whew, that was weird looking. I'm going to call that an unsafe release for the boys in the Ferrari garage. That was... could have been a disaster. So Heated Swag hasn't validated Uno Cinco. One-time PRO podium winner. Got his first podium. And it was Tier 2. Was it Silverstone? Sunday Tier 2. Very exciting. I'll call the 1-5 a fan favorite. An entertaining lad. as he winds his way through these S's. I wouldn't even call it an S. That's a very sharp for an S. Moving back and forth through Sector 2. He's going to be the next driver across the line. The clock continues to tick down, as it always will. It always will. The clock will never stop ticking. 1-5-1-10-1 will get him onto the board. Arago Turner finding some time. He's up about a quarter second. Is it going to be enough to jump onto the front row? He needs to find another 1/10.5 just to get to Gold Killer. 1:08.5 keeps him P3. Frosty has found a smidge of time. And he's lost it now. Pixel Knight starting a lap, I believe. So is the Fox. Dix Fox. We'll go to the Ferrari of Marijuanizer. Love me some wordplay. Especially when it involves drugs. Backing out pretty early for this uphill corner, but back onto the throttle. And through essentially the dog leg here at Sao Paulo. It's going to be in the 1:13s his first time of the day. Seeing validations and in-laps. I also see Apex Dog. I would assume APX is Apex. But the dog on the run right now through Sector 2. Very, very tight in P10 and not very, very far from P7. That spot up triples just a little more than a 1/10. And really up to P8, it's 0.02 of a second. So just the smallest gain can jump him up a row. Apex Dog, 1:09.0 will jump to P6. So he finds a couple spots and more. Moves him on to row 3. Ghost Viper trying to put Pole out of reach for his competitors. He's found a 10th through Sector 1. And his teammate might be setting up to give him some slipstream again. 4/10. So I was going to mention earlier, I didn't know if Pole Lap was going to break into the 107s, but Ghost Viper on his way to the 107s. And he'll get there. 1:07.879, and that's 6.5 clear of Gold Killer and the rest of the field. Oh, I missed that. Marijuanizer. 1:09.3 joins his teammate for the day, Spot Up Triples, in the top 10. So the Ferrari's sitting 8th and 9th now with a little under 3.5 minutes remaining in the sesh. Gold Killer's found a touch of time. I don't think it's going to be near enough unless this is the craziest Sector 3 known to Brazil kind. He actually loses time in the final sector. Frosty starting a lap. Oh, Vinny losing it through, I think that's like turn 7? Turn 8 maybe? Probably caught a little too much curb. It's easy to do. But he'll get going once more. Looking for splits. Haven't really seen anything yet, though. Let's see where Frosty is through 2 sectors. He's really the only driver that could be pushing now. Coming down to the 2-minute warning. I think the rest of the field will be heading out of the pits momentarily. Yeah, Frosty 3.5 tenths up. Ooh, a little slide there. Gunning for P3. He needs just a little more. 108.6, so it falls away just a touch in Sector 3. He will remain P4. Now, Gold Killer has retired. I think is... No, never mind. I tell you, these blues with the V-carbs, I keep thinking it's the Red Bull. Sneaky, sneaky. Turner getting a warm-up or recovery lap in here. Those spot-up triples is finding some time. 2-time winner this season. Trying to stay in the championship hunt. He is P3. Needs a lot to go his way after missing a race last week. But spot-up triples to the line will jump 2 spots to P7. 109.1. Just ahead of Dix Fox by some very slim margins. Fox looking to improve, and spot-up's pretty much done. Yeah, that should be it for him. Everyone else, 40 seconds to go, trying to get their lap started or pushing on. It's going to be Turner, actually. We'll go to... Oh, no, now he is about to start a lap. Frosty comes to the pit lane. He will be P4 at best. Pixel Knight hasn't validated, but can get back to the line in time, I believe. Dix Fox is going to head to the line right around the checkered flag, so he won't be able to go again. Just misses the checkered flag, but will... Ooh. Wow. Does not improve. Very, very slim margins there. He will be P8 at best. To the McLaren of Pickle Tickle. He's been up 4 tenths through 2 sectors. Sector 3 has been the time lost for a lot of guys, though. Not for Pickle Tickle this time. He jumps to P7 by 1,000th of a second over spot-up triples. Apex Dog moves to P5. Uno Cinco will be P12. Vinny Sips to the line, but off the pace a bit. And Marijuanizer will improve to P5. Big lap there, nearly a half a second jump. So we'll put a Ferrari in the top 5. Turner. Can he jump to pole position? He can jump to the front row. He finds 2 tenths. But no one really has an answer for Ghost Viper. We actually found a little bit more time that lap. Being the 107.8s, and Pixel Knight will head to the pit lane. So no answers for Ghost Viper once more. Trying to think of... I mean, he's definitely been on pole a couple of times already in the 4 races, now 5, that he's done in Midweek Tier 2. Let me see if I have this stashed somewhere. Yep, I count 2 pole positions, including last week in Spa. So we'll make that 3 for Ghost Viper. He will be on pole with a really, really strong lap. Turner will start next to him. Gold Killer and Frosty will start on row 2. Marijuanizer and Apex Dog, both in their debuts, both on row 3. Pixel Knight and Pickle Tickle will start on row 4. And then Spot Up and Dix Fox will round out the top 10. Vinny Sips and Uno Cinco, P11 and P12. Heated Swag will start 13th next to Rusty Oil Can, who I think had some technical issues perhaps and was not able to get a lap in. Let me see if I can jump over to Gord's YouTube real quick. Maybe. Can I find it quick enough? So you can see the rain clearly coming down. Should rain, I think, the entirety of this race. It's a 10-car field for midweek 1, and Llama is on pole with a 107.1. I think it was a 107.7 here. Next to Kobe plays Furzy, Heavy Chalice, Gourd Sauce, Spin and Win, Old Syrup Style, Airborne Tiger, Andy Wu, and Alex F1. Yeah, a lot of declines for midweek 1, but still a 10-car field. Just eyeballing it, I'm going to say intermediate conditions, and then see if I've been proven. Yeah. It says light rain in the forecast, so light rain says enters to me. Should make for a fun start. Traction is at a premium in the first sector of this track anyway, and particularly on lap 1, and now particularly in the rain. Headed to the formation lap. Frosty saying it's going to take all of his focus. That's rain expert Frosty, starting P4. I've had a history of wet events in Brazil, and they went pretty poorly for me. There's also probably it's got to be a coin flip every time we're in Brazil that it's raining. So you think after enough times, everyone would just be really, really good at it. Say Frosty is pretty good in the rain. I think the skill set of someone like Spot Up Triples works out pretty well in the rain, where you're just really taking care of the car, keeping it between the lines, and that's how you make up time and positions. Vinny Sips, I think, could have a really strong result in the rain. I think otherwise it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out with a lot of our contenders at the front, with Ghost Viper, with Turner, with Gold Killer. Can they, how do I want to say this? Can they time their aggression correctly? Can they do it in the proper amounts as the grid will come back towards the boxes on the front straight away? And Rusty Oil Can, the 14th car on the grid. Ooh, Uno Cinco really blew the grid box. Okay. We'll come back to their grid boxes, and now we wait for the lights here in Interlagos. 5 red lights are on, and they are off here in Brazil. Ghost Viper has left the door open for Turner on the inside. He's going to try to hold it to the inside through the S's. Turn 2, Gold Killer not very far behind him. Has a better run through the corner and will keep the lead for now. Look at this side by side. Nearly 3 wide as Gold Killer sticks a nose in there. Look at that. Yeah, definitely is 3 wide behind. Gold Killer's going to make up a spot through all this. Turner sliding off the track, but will keep it steady, and I'll actually get back into P2. Frosty had gained a spot for a second, and Apex Dog and Marijuanizer going back and forth as well. Let's see, I forgot to set my position changes. Apex Dog a bit wide there. I think it's going to give Marijuanizer a way around as I head back up the hill. Rusty is already starting to pick his way through the field. He's up 4 spots. Was concerned about some technical issues with his wheel, but it has not bothered him in the early stages of this one. Top 4 going at it, and Turner will actually get across the line first past Ghost Viper, and Turner to the lead. These 4, I think, are going to be scrapping for quite a bit of time of this race. So we go to lap 2. No DRS with the very wet conditions. Oh, we have a car off. That's Apex Dog at the bottom of turn 2 into turn 3. Just have to get it going. He didn't hit very hard. Hopefully there's no real damage to that car. Pixel Knight had a tough start. He's down 5. Rusty is up 5. Dix Fox is up 4. Don't know if Apex Dog had any help with that. I'm sure there was probably a little bit of contact, and that with the lack of grip on these probably cold intermediate tires helped him around as Frosty gets to the inside of Ghost Viper. What a move there. It's going to be the outside as they go through the high-speed section, so he's kind of got to back out since that's the wet line. Whew. Both drivers having to fight the car a bit for turn-in. That was quite a moment for Frosty, who still has a good run. Dumping a bit of battery to get to the inside of Ghost Viper and get the fastest lap to boot. Back into turn 1. Can he get clear to turn 2? And he can. I think Ghost Viper considered sticking the nose there, but did not. Gold Killer still hanging around P4. Marijuanizer joining the group as well. So now the top 5 pulled away a bit from Dix Fox, and then back to spot up triples a little further. Pickle Tickle and Rusty just behind the Ferrari driver. That's Rusty getting to the inside and making yet another move on Pickle Tickle. He's up 6 spots through 2 laps and some change. A little bit further back to Vinny Sips and Pixel Knight, who's gained another spot. Heated Swag has just picked up a time penalty. That's the first one of the evening. Uno Cinco just behind him, and Apex Dog all by his lonesome right now, trying to get back into the mix after a spin on lap 2. I do see some damage to that front wing, missing an end plate at least. It's a quick run through the field for you. Turner holding on to the lead. Frosty very, very close behind. Let's see how close behind when we go on board. Look at that. Dumps some battery. Gets to the inside. And our rain expert Frosty is leading the field here on lap 4. We've had 3 different leaders here. And we're on lap 4. Whew. And we're just listening to him wheel that thing around. Tires screaming as they're trying to find traction. Big snap there. And same thing happened to Turner behind when we looked to the backside of the V-carb. You can see the Mercedes having a big moment as well. Dix Fox in P6. Spot Up still hanging on with him, and Rusty has kind of caught this duo. Kind of a have room for another kind of deal there. Pickle Tick also hanging on as well, so this 2 can turn to 4 pretty quickly. And Frosty is kind of checked out. He's already 1.5 seconds up the road from Turner. Turns in the fastest lap, a 121 flat. And he's still got a lot of battery to work with. Everyone else is running 122s right now. Rusty in the 121s, actually. And Pixel Knight has gone to the pit lane and called it. It's a frustrating start for him. Heated Swag is also in the pit lane. Yep, put on a new front wing. So probably a bit of an incident there. That lead already up to 2.5 seconds. And I did miss Spot Up getting around Dix Fox. Rusty wants to be the next one. To kind of wind our way through Sector 2. Oh, took a lot of curb and was nearly punished for it. That car pitched to the right as those right side tires found the curb on corner exit. And Frosty, yet another blazing fast lap, 120s this time. See Rusty to the outside, the room is going to be afforded, and he's going to blow by Dix Fox and move it to the top half of the field here on lap 6. Start at P14. And he looks up the road to the Ferrari driver, Spot Up triples. Head back towards the front, and Gold Killer braked a bit too late. It's going to cost him a spot. Marijuanizer's going to get around him. Oh, we have a car off. I think that's Uno Cinco. Yep. Turn 1, turn 2 area. I guess it's turn 2, turn 3 area. So Marijuanizer up a spot. Gold Killer down another to P5. But all 4 of these drivers still nice and cozy with each other. It's 4 drivers, 4 cars within about a second and a quarter. And Spot Up triples catching them as well. Just by a few tenths last lap, but I think it'll be a few more tenths this lap. Frosty, I want to see what this lap is. Again, 121.5, so a little bit slower. But it's still holding a nice 4-second lead, and still was 7 or 8 tenths faster than the rest of this group. Here battling for P2. Spot Up triples a 121.2. So gaining on this quartet. Started up kind of hopping around here. We got a couple different battles going on. I want to highlight everyone a little bit in this race. Benny Sips holding on to Pickle Tickle, gained by 6 tenths last lap. Put himself in a good spot here to move into P9. And Pickle Tickle gained on Dix Fox by about 4 tenths last lap as well. So starting to converge a bit here in the back of the top 10. Move back towards the top 6. Spot up, hanging around about a second back of Gold Killer. We're getting a little bit of an accordion effect as the group heads down towards the start-finish line. Marijuanizer getting pretty close, but not close enough for a move into turn 1 on Ghost Viper. I think everyone's been rather content to just kind of sit where they are. Still pretty early in this one. We had a flurry of moves in the first few laps, but now starting to settle down a bit. More about gaining time than anything. Spot up triples gaining time, and can he gain a position on Gold Killer? Not into turn 4. Apex Dog into the pit lane. I think he needs a new front wing. And Marijuanizer still really, really close here to Ghost Viper. A little bit of a moment, but keeps the car steady. And they will wind their way through Sector 2. I don't have a track map in front of me. I don't have all the corner numbers, or really with Interlagos, it's a bunch of corner names. Many of you guys are big enough nerds to know all the names anyway. Not for Interlagos. I'm sure you would for Silverstone or Spa. Vinny had gotten close to Pickle Tickle, but not quite close enough to make a move. But the McLaren driver might be making moves of his own as we head towards lap number 9. Did not have a good run up the hill, and Vinny's going to get pretty close to him. So kind of a 3-car battle for P8. We're going to spot up within 2 tenths, and we'll back out as Gold Killer had pretty good car placement right in the middle of the track into turn 4. Whew, Vinny trying to go up the inside. Could not quite pull off the move, but he saw an opportunity. He took it. It's going to cost Pickle Tickle a bit of time in relation to Dixbox. A couple drivers turning in their fastest laps of the race on lap 8. Turner did 121.5. Ghost Viper something similar. Gold Killer 121.8. Uno Cinco 121.7. He's on fresh tires, which I should probably do that. Heated Swag Apex Dog on fresher tires of the rest of the field. Oh, Uno Cinco is not on fresh tires. He just had that mistake earlier. My bad. Chilling at P11. And Frosty chilling in P1. Half a second faster last lap than Turner. Go on board Turner, see if we can see some shenanigans behind. Look at that. 4 cars just behind him. Ghost Viper holding off Marijuanizer, who's getting pretty close within a quarter second. Didn't quite get a turn 6 and turn 7 perfectly right, so no chance there. Oh, Vinny's starting to fall away from Pickle Tickle now, so he got one shot the inside turn 4. Cannot make it happen, has now dropped 2 seconds back of this duo. Ooh, big moment there, but he's going to keep it steady. Wow. Pickle Tickle running a little wide, and that curb took him for a ride. Very much driver versus conditions right now. Haven't had an overtake in a few laps. But tires starting to wear a little bit, I imagine. I mentioned earlier, very much about taking care of the car. Spot Up has gotten really, really close. This is the closest he's been so far. Just not enough to force a move to the inside on turn 4. I think there was more about seeing if he could bait Gold Killer into a mistake. And Gold Killer holding his car steady. The Intimidator button did not work that time. Rain is still coming down pretty hard. Frosty actually moving into the wet line as he comes across the start-finish line. Into the 122s that lap. So time's not falling off too much. I do wonder if it's getting stronger as Spot Up Triples has gone alongside into the set of S's. Made a move to the inside at 1. Held it there, and got past Gold Killer. Damn, sorry I missed that move. He had been feeling out that move for a half dozen laps. And here on lap 12, jumps on Gold Killer to move into the top 5. Oh, and now his teammate has gone wide. Marijuana is just going to lose a spot, possibly 2. So Spot Up gets by, a little bit of a tap behind, as I think he's just trying to get back into the racing groove. Holds off Gold Killer with a little bit of a nudge. So Spot Up 2 spots. Can he make it 3 spots to really embrace the Spot Up Triples name? He's Spot Up double move right now, making up 2 spots in 1 lap. That was a terrible pun. I'm very sorry for that. Spot Up doubles it is. And he's brought himself pretty close to Ghost Viper, who did not have a good Senna S. A little bit of a moment there on exit for Ghost Viper. Yeah, that car is starting to be a bit sideways. Not what you want in the conditions. It's going to happen in the conditions, but still not what you want. Spot Up in the middle of this group. 2 ahead of him, 2 behind. He's going to have a good run. Dump some battery. So get towards the dog leg. He'll get to the inside, across the line, and Spot Up Triples has put himself at a podium spot. Podium position. He's been on the hunt the last few laps and has put himself into P3. Can he get to Turner? Make up some spots and stay in this championship fight? Vinny Sips back within proximity of Pickle Tickle. Kind of bluffed a move there, backed out. Heated Swag just turned in the fastest lap of the race. That's a 120.2. Ooh, Vinny thought about it. There's quite a speed difference there. Yeah, really thought about it as I headed back up the hill towards turn 6. But once again, still stuck behind. Or once again, a failed overtake and is stuck behind Pickle Tickle. Rusty is going to join the group now. He's within a second of Gold Killer, and now 6 cars within a second of the one in front. He had been kind of steady as Spot Up was catching the field, and Spot Up makes up another position, gets to the inside, turn 1, and will move into Second place. Spot Up Triples. Methodically cutting his way through this lead group. Has kept his times in the 121s as the others have slipped into the 122s. Now in second. So I was saying before that, Rusty was kind of turning in the same times as Spot Up. As Spot Up was starting to cut his way towards the top 5. And now it's finally gained on the group. He was typically like 2.5 seconds behind Spot Up for a couple of laps. We're going to go to Pickle Tickle, who's about half a second away from Dix Fox. So yeah, 2 different battles really going on right here. Heated Swag starting to cut his way back towards Uno Cinco. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Still 4 seconds away, and I think a 6-second penalty still looming for the Haas driver. See Spot Up over a second in front of Turner. He's going to have to play defense once more. Marijuanizer, pretty good corner, but is going to lose a bit. Oh, Uno Cinco into the pit lane. It's gone 15 laps on the inters. Says that's enough. We'll put on a fresh set. So he is the first to change his tires. It's going to be inters all the way. It's just how long do you want to run on them? I think a lot of drivers will be pretty much... Oh, Apex Dog retires in the pit lane. A lot of drivers will be splitting the race in half. So Apex Dog's PRL debut comes to a unexpected end. Here on lap 16, he will retire in the pit lane. It'll be P13 on debut. 8/10 faster that time for Spot Up Triples as Turner will come to the pit lane. He'll be the first taker of the front pack. I think it's going to be a can he undercut Spot Up with some fresh rubber. He's got a big gap that he could come out in. Well, actually, how close is he going to come up to this backup group? Ooh, Ghost Viper, Marijuanizer going at it. And Marijuanizer has gone deep and lost position again. So I think he made the pass, went deep into the corner, and then lost it as Ghost Viper got back around. Viper, Marijuanizer, Gold Killer, this trio, and Rusty looming in the background. Turner came out 8 seconds behind the trio of Fox, Pickle, and Vinny. So plenty of space to work with. Spot Up a full second faster than Frosty last lap. Now headed to lap 18. You see this move in the background, and now the foreground. Marijuanizer will get by Ghost Viper on the front straightaway. Whew, that Haas starting to wiggle around on the backside. As Gold Killer will be the next driver into the pit lane to put on new inters. Where will he come out in relation to Turner? He was behind Turner. How close are they going to be on pit exit? This pit exit can be a little tricky here. Quite winding. It's downhill. It's going to be, let's see what it is in the timing line, about 2 seconds behind Turner. One lap fresher tires. Last lap, similar times, very, very similar times between our first two racers. Frosty starting to slide the thing around. I wonder if he's going to be in this lap. Lap 18, we are at the halfway point. No, he will not come in this lap. Spot Up will, though. He'll split it. Oh, man. He will split it in half, but a 10-second time penalty will do a number on Spot Up triples and Rusty Oil Can. Speeding in the pit lane for both of them. Ghost Viper's in as well. He does not get penalized. Dix Fox does get penalized for the same thing. So that's 3 speeding penalties over 5 drivers pitting on the same lap. Coming in too hot. And it's going to cost him on the timing sheet. That's brutal for Spot Up in particular because he has the pace. He could have caught Frosty, I think. But now he's going to have to catch him and a lot more. He comes out P4, a second behind Vinny Sips. Frosty, Marijuanizer, and Vinny all yet to pit. Spot Up coming out ahead of Turner by 3 seconds. Gold Killer a second behind him. Ghost Viper comes out behind Gold Killer. Rusty another 2 seconds back. And Dix Fox and Pickle Tickle, actually a bit of a gap. They were very, very close to each other before pitting. I wonder if Pickle Tickle got held up a little bit as other cars were coming through the pit lane. Frosty gets in cleanly. Does Marijuanizer. Ooh, big lockup, and he takes out the sign. That's unfortunate. Let's see if Vinny's going to be able to get through without speeding, as now the sign is gone. Woo! I think he's trying to get out of the way of Spot Up and head to the pit lane. Yes, he does. Doesn't know where the line is. There's the line. The sign has gone. Now let's see where everyone comes out in relation to each other. Spot Up will not undercut Frosty by enough. It's going to be a couple, it's like probably 2 seconds. Now 3 second gap. It was 4-2, so we'll call that a second and a half. But does not jump a position. Turner 2.5 back. Gold Killer 1.5. You see the intervals on your page. Marijuanizer will actually lose a couple of spots from this. For pitting a touch later. He's undercut by Rusty Oil Can. And by Ghost Viper, for that matter. So now the Ferrari back to P7. The Fox, Pickle Tickle, Vinny Sips trio has broken up. The band has broken up. Let's see if we get a reunion tour at some point later in the race. Vinny now in a little battle with Uno Cinco, who made up a lot of time by pitting earlier than pretty much everyone else. And it has jumped past Vincenzo. Spot Up triples, fastest lap of the race, 1:19. We'll call that one 0.8. I think it's the first lap of the 1:19s, or sub 1:20. And the only driver in the 1:19s that last lap. Well, until Heated Swag comes across and takes it from him, 1:19.6 is the new fastest lap. I believe it's still, I think it's 2 points for fastest lap, 1 point for pole position. And 2 points for no track limits violations. Not sure who has kept that clean. There you go. Frosty turns in a pretty damn good lap there. 1:19.3. Turner trying to hold off Gold Killer still. Will force him to the high side. Oh, a bit of a bump as they go through turn 1. Or if there's any damage picked up there. Update on Midweek 1. Kobe Plays leading that race by a long way. Don't know if he just hasn't pit yet or what. Furzy said he had wheel issues. His wheel died mid-race, so don't know how much that will affect their battle, their championship battle at least. I think Pickle Tickle just had an off as Uno Cinco and Vinny Sips will get through. Both being promoted into the top 10. Marijuanizer still over the back of Rusty Oil Can, trying to get a position that he lost in the pit cycle. Whew, got really, really close under braking. See if he's just going to try to feel it out. Rusty's going to park it on the apex, as one does at turn 1. But Marijuanizer into the back of him. Don't think it was enough to pick up damage, at least. We'll jump just ahead. As, of course, the overtake happens. Marijuanizer is to the inside of Rusty Oil Can. Very sorry about that. I thought Ghost Viper was going to be making a move. I didn't think Marijuanizer would be close enough that time. Pickle Tickle retires. He is the 3rd retirement of the race, so it has been whittled down to 11 drivers. Spot up triples. Closing in on Frosty, and man, that's going to make this so much more frustrating, that 10-second time penalty. Just about a second back from the lead. Did not have the greatest qualifying session, but has picked his way through the field, dialed in, and was completely dialed in and having a flawless day until he got to the pit line going just a touch too fast. With the pace he has, he still might be able to hold on to P2. He's now 8 seconds up the road from Turner. I think Rusty's won't cost him anything, as he's now 10 seconds ahead of Dix Fox in P7. We've got a little quartet here. Once more, Marijuanizer P6 looking up at Ghost Viper. Oh, Gold Killer's going to try. Oh, he might have been trying, but is back in line. Behind Turner. They're all vying for P3, that final podium position. Very gentle with the throttle application. So we go to start Sector 3, the run back up the hill and towards the start-finish line. 2/3 of the way through this race now. So they had to 12 to go this time. Marijuanizer runs wide. He's going to get the position. Was he fully off the track, though? The game doesn't seem to think so. Marijuanizer into the top 5. And Ghost Viper started on pole, but the race has not gone according to plan for him. Down to P6. Now, what did I say when this race began? As we were waiting for the race to begin, I mentioned a couple of guys I thought would excel in the rain, just based off of their driving styles, based off of their history. And 2 of them are sitting 1st and 2nd. Vinny, well, you can't win them all. But he has kept it on the track. Rusty Oil Can, somewhat similar, I feel. And he's found quite a few spots, especially in the early going. He now sits P7. Watching the battle for P3. Just a second and a half back from joining this battle. Back on board with the rookie. So he comes over the line for 10 to go. Sorry, 11 to go. feel a way around here. Hear the car rattling over the curb the inside of turn 3. Gold Killer really good at placing the car right in the middle of the track going defensive. The rain's still coming down. It's been a second since I've looked at the lap times. Still very much enters. Very much enters lap times at least. Frosty was in the 119s. And Spot Up has kind of settled into a 1 to 1.5 second gap. But he has that 10-second advantage over Turner. I think that's really what he's aiming for now. We're watching his teammate try to go to war. The cars around him. Just a quarter second and closing on Gold Killer. Dumping some battery. I think he's got a good run here. Bluffs to the inside. Forces him defensive. But Gold Killer just able to outbrake with the inside line and will get the position back. So had the overspeed to get to the high side, but just not the positioning to hold on to it as they went into turn 1. He'll try it again, but still very good defensive placement from Gold Killer, leaving about, I don't know, 80% of a car's width to the outside. Daring Marijuanizer to take it. Just not quite enough room. I think about a couple of moves here. Was it Vinny Sips and Uno Cinco, maybe? Oh, Ghost Viper's come out of the pit lane. That's what it was. So we had a bit of a reshuffling as Ghost Viper has come in for new enters with about 10 laps to go. 2 stopping it. And he has a long way to go to get back to where he was at P6. P5 even. P4? I think Viper was P4. Gold Killer is P4 right now. Went almost on an offensive move. And then Marijuanizer tried to take advantage of it. And that door closed very quickly. Will we get anything here? Another attempt for the Ferrari. Can he get him on the exit? Gets a good run, but can't get any overlap on the inside. I think of the drive. This corner is a fantastic, well, a daring and a very fun, I wouldn't call it a fantastic or optimal overtaking opportunity. But not in the wet. This Ghost Viper will join the club with a 3-second time penalty. He, Fox, and Heated Swag all have track limits related time pens, while Rusty and Spot Up have the 10-second. Let's see. Doesn't Dix Fox have one too? Let's see. Yep. So Fox also has the 10 seconds. A little too fast in the pit lane. We'll keep those on the screen for a second. Ghost Viper closing in, but backing off very early. And a 120.4 on those brand new tires. I think the conditions are getting a little trickier, even with fresh tires. And doesn't really have any battery to work with. Gonna let you have the sweet, sweet sounds of cars sliding around in the rain. Aironizer, another attempt to the high side. Has the room, but such a tricky corner to overtake on the high side because of how the corner is banked into the elevation changes. And especially that's the wet line right now. It's very difficult to find that traction. Can he try it again here into 4? There's going to be a tap, but play on, play on. Keep the yellow card put away. I think Viper's just content to sit right now behind Vinny. He hasn't really made an overtaking chance yet until he got around the outside there. Almost had him through turn 5. Is he going to lunge up the inside here? Not quite. I think he's trying to take alternative lines, and it's going to work for him. Wow, what a move from Ghost Viper. Finally taking advantage of the fresh tires. And dipping into the wet line a bit to get past Vinny Sips. I think he knows he needs to get past Uno Cinco and then needs to start charging. To really have any chance at, well, with the penalties for Dix Fox, maybe have any chance at Rusty Oil Cans. So, just trying to get some positions back as Gold Killer picks up his 3rd strike. This will probably drop him, it'll just drop him a spot as of now to P5. I have to do some quick math after this one to see where everyone sitting standings-wise. Viper going alongside Uno Cinco, kind of similar to what he did with Vinny Sips, just in a different corner. Gets to the outside, has the better grip, even if it's in the wet. And we'll get to P8 on track. Needs to create a little bit of separation between him and those two now, so he can hold on to that spot once that checkered flag flies. I was going to say, was Cinco going to try to get back after him? I don't think Vinny and the good old 1-5 are going to let him go that easy. We'll still keep an eye on that battle. Spot Up still cruising around behind Frosty. Knows he doesn't really have any reason to force a move for the lead here. That 10-second penalty. And he's 20 seconds up the road from this group. These two truly on a different level with pace today. Oh, Spot Up actually making Frosty go make a defensive move into turn 4. I'd said all that, and maybe Spot Up wants the lead anyway. Why not? These four continuing to go after each other. Ghost Viper has caught Dix Fox. Well, he's at least within a second. Let's see if he's going to be able to make a move here. 4 laps to go in this one. Thought about a move, or at least showed the nose, but was not going to have any overlap there. Gold Killer almost got overlap on Turner there. Ooh, took a lot of curb on the inside to get through the corner. Ooh, he caught a lot of curb there, so I think Marijuanizer might get him. Can he get a better run out? Not really. Yeah, I'm surprised the Ferrari hasn't gone more aggressive. So podium still on the table for him. A bit of a tap, and oh, Dix Fox has gone around. Can he keep it out of the wall? He can. Ghost Viper had gotten past him. I just don't know if with the weather or what, there may have been some side-by-side contact. But Fox, a moment that you got to check your pants after, nearly found the outside wall with just 3 laps to go. Viper still needing to find some time. Uno Cinco just a second behind him. And Vinny Sips a little bit onto the grass trying to make a move on Fox. He knows that Uno Cinco is still a race for position. Got onto the grass trying to take the outside into turn number 5. But I think it's going to slip away from him quite quickly. Frosty and Spot Up have made their way to the penultimate lap of this race. And Spot Up falling away a bit, but remember it was a half a second. It's 2.5 now. Marijuanizer now attempting another move to the outside of Gold Killer into turn 1, and it's just not going to work for him. Still has yet to work. I think he has run out of time to get by Gold Killer and make a run at Turner. But Turner did just make a mistake out of turn number 3. I just don't know if he's got the gearing right or the shifts right through turn 4. Gold Killer almost looked like to make an offensive move, and he bluffed it there into 6. Got a lot of the curb and somehow keeping it on the track. It's like Gold Killer's trying to get his way around Turner now, which might be the best thing for Marijuanizer. Because he doesn't have to beat Gold Killer. If Gold Killer can get around Turner, that makes that battle with Turner that much easier. Frosty and Spot Up have gone up to the final lap. Frosty drifting the car through turn 3. It has been a flawless day for Frosty. Started, P4, P5, a really solid qualifying session, and picked his way past the top 3 with ease. Wow. Can he get it? Can he hold on to it? Marijuanizer to the outside into 1. It's the inside into 2, maybe a bit of a tap. And as they head towards 3, he will have the position. Does that leave him with enough time to get to Turner? I will wax poetic about Frosty in a couple of moments, but I think we still have a battle for a podium spot up for grabs here. Ooh, a big oversteer moment. Gets the car slowed. In his PRL debut, looking for a podium finish, and Turner, not a great exit. There's a tap, and Turner goes spinning. That's our championship leader. That's what Gold Killer wanted as Frosty comes across the line. Sorry, Frosty. And will win this one after a flawless performance. Spot Up triples nearly a flawless performance, but that 10-second penalty really hurts him. He will finish P2 after a fantastic first stint. Marijuanizer in his PRL debut is going to be P3 on track, but a tap with Turner could cost him in the steward's room. Gold Killer is going to get 4th. Turner is 5th, meaning Gold Killer still in the hunt going into next week. Turner will not clinch the Drivers' Championship tonight. And I'll do the full results in a moment. So Frosty, his second win of the season, and this one in pretty dominant fashion. Congrats to him. He also gets fastest lap. Driver of the day goes to Rusty Oil Can, and most overtakes is Rusty Oil Can. Cleanest driver, Vinny Sips. That's a pretty frequent occurrence. I think my personal pick for driver of the day is Spot Up Triples, or maybe I even go with Frosty, who just had that strong of a performance. He is our winner from P4 on the grid. Also gets fastest lap. Spot Up Triples, I said nearly flawless performance. We'll get P2 from P9 on the grid. Marijuanizer in his PRL debut. Double Ferrari podium. Gold Killer is 4th. Turner 5th. That battle will go to next week in our finale. Rusty Oil Can, Uno Cinco, Vinny Sips. Ghost Viper or Pole Sitter finishes 9th. Heated Swag is 10th. And there's Dix Fox 11th. Pickle Tickle, Apex Dog, and Pixel Knight all DNFing. So 11 cars finish, 14 were on the grid. I think my math is correct there. Yeah, really, Gold Killers had to gain on Turner to stay in the fight. Now, and Spot Up, I don't think, gained enough, even with that great of a performance. So I think it is down to 2. What a race, actually. There was like a 5-car battle the entirety of that race. We got to keep a close eye on. There was another battle further in the field for a little bit between 3 cars. Had a couple of debuts. One went really well, one didn't go as well. And we had 2 flawless or nearly flawless performances, and they ended up on the podium. So great week of racing here in Midweek 2. Our season finale is next week at, it just says Italy. I'm going to guess that's Monza. So make sure to tune in for that same time, same place. Though, I think which tier depends on if Kobe Plays just secured the Midweek 1 championship with his victory in their race just a few moments ago. Just 10 cars were in that race, so who knows? He had to beat... Oh, wow. None of those guys were actually racing. Did Kobe just win the championship because the other 3 guys still in the fight did not race? If so, that's unfortunate. But congrats to Kobe if he did just secure his championship. And if he did, that means I'll be back here for Midweek 2 next week. So make sure to tune in for that. Still have a championship fight on our hands here. Until then, this has been Performance Racing League. I've been Hoop BK. Have a great night.